think this is a good way to round off. Like, with all your experience, all your knowledge across journalism, YouTubing, just researching, like, to you, what is the most important piece of advice that you could give to like anyone wanting to get into the fashion industry or like up and coming designers in particular?
One, designers are not the only job in fashion. A lot of people don't know, like, there's so many jobs in fashion, like, man, like from journalists, and a lot of them can make a lot of money, like journalists or photographers, videographers, stylists, hairstylists, hairdressers. Like, so, because everyone, when they think of fashion, they're like, oh, I want to be a designer, but there's so much more to it. And design might not actually be your thing. There might be something else that you like, whether it's even PR or something like that. So don't always feel like you're boxed in to being a designer. But also, if you're going to start any sort of fashion business, whether that's like what I do, which is have a magazine, or people that have brands, actually do your research before you start. I think a lot of people go into it blind. And I don't think they actually know they're going into it blind. I think they think they've done research, but they haven't. So I feel like it's also, if you can, find someone else who has a brand and try to get advice from them. I think that's probably the most important thing.
I think that's sick advice. You said something that reminded me to ask you something else. The magazine, again, Fashion Archive, congratulations on that. What made you decide to do a magazine, especially in a time where it's like print is obviously declining? Like, why didn't you just keep the magazine digital? Like, tell me everything.
Yeah, so first of all, the magazine is both. So it's digital and print. So that was like, all right. But then, so when I was first getting into fashion, I used to read magazines like ID magazine. And ID is like catered towards like underground scene, like music, culture, fashion, Days. But Days and Confused them, but now it's Days. There was like loads of magazines I used to read, and they really used to, like, it was serious journalism. Like, they'll go around London, find like up and coming creators and stuff. But now they're almost like watered down. I don't know if it's because of money and they're trying to make money, but they all talk about the same brands over and over again. It's like when Balenciaga has a show, everyone's talking about it to the point where no one talks about anything else. So I don't even buy those magazines anymore because it's not the same. Like, when I used to read it, I'd actually be like, what? Who's this person in London? And then I'll actually learn something. I don't feel like I learn anything really reading those magazines again. So I was like, nah. So I wanted to make a magazine that reminded me of those times when people were actually talking about the up and coming things that were happening. So that's basically what my magazine is. It's like looking at up and coming creatives just around the world, like photographers, designers, stylists. I'm going to expand it into music in the next issue and stuff like that. So that is really why I made it.
That's sick. When's the next one coming out?
Next year. So it only comes out once a year.
Once a year? Okay, that's sick. Have you haven't set a date for next year though?
Nah.
Okay, cool. Still working on it.
Yeah.
Cool. Anyway, Ayo, bro, thank you so much, bro. Like, my head's spinning, bro. So much. Like, it's sick. Man's there watching your videos today, last week, whenever. And then now I've been able to ask you so many questions. I've been able to learn even more, bro. So thank you so much. I know our audience especially would really definitely value this episode. For those of you that may not know Ayo already, where can they find you and what can we expect from you?
Yeah, so YouTube is the Fashion Archive. Everything else is Fashion Roadman, like Instagram, Twitter. And what's next? I'm just making more videos. Now I work as a journalist for the business of fashion, so I write articles for them.
Sick.
Yeah, so you can also read my articles on that.
Yeah. Sick.
Yeah.
Hey. Thank you for watching another episode of Where's My Podcast. If you ever want to take in future episodes on the go, you can find us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Whilst you're there, please leave us a 5-star review. It would really help. And also, don't forget to follow us on our Instagram, WMTV_LDN, to keep up to date with the latest goings on in UK fashion. Keep it locked.